lives can matter more than this mission.
I don't accept that.
To some, it seemed a settlement in the bitter dispute between thousands of Hollywood writers and their studios was nothing short of, well, mission impossible. A demand for better pay and contracts fit for an age where digital streaming and artificial intelligence have upended the norms in Tinseltown. But overnight, the union that represents nearly 12,000 TV and film writers said they'd finally reached a breakthrough, agreeing a tentative deal with studios and streamers like Disney, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Netflix and Amazon. A deal they described as exceptional, with meaningful gains and protections for writers. But because the deal is still being drafted into a contract, no details were disclosed, and writers were told no one is to return to work until specifically authorised to do so.
What do we want? Fair contract! When do we want it? Now!
Writers sign new contracts in Hollywood every 3 years, but the negotiations this summer were by far the most fraught in decades, because writers feel that this moment is a tipping point, that streaming services like Netflix have redefined their industry, but that their contract and pay simply hasn't kept up. Then on top of that, the existential threat of artificial intelligence that writers feel could simply replace them altogether in the long term as studios look for cheaper alternatives to their creative talent.
Ho, ho! Corporate greed has got to go!
The same fears led Hollywood actors to go out on strike too, that AI is so smart it could mimic their likeness on screen. But while the writers have reached a tentative deal, the 160,000 TV and film performers so far have not.
No more rags for their riches!
The mood as soon as the tentative deal was announced was one of ecstasy. A lot of people have suffered because of the strike. A lot of people have been out of work, and news that we might get the engine moving again is just life-saving for so many people.
People like Juliana Cavedes-Tello, who's a prop painter in London.
I've not had any work for about 2 months. And even the people that you try and get in touch with, they just say that all the studios have shut down for the time being. And nobody knows when they're going to get back on track.
She may be far from Hollywood, but the strikes have hit the industry overseas far worse than she expected.
I mean, financially it's been quite tough, and my creative skills just feel like non-existent in a way, because my industry is non-existent too.
You're a superhero.
Not anymore.
Not all Hollywood dramas have a happy ending, like the ever-popular Stranger Things that was put on hold due to the strikes. But this tale seems to have. Writers are due to vote on the new contract within days, and barring any last-minute plot twists, they'll likely be back at work later this week.